So this is week 2 of my 2024 weight loss journey. I am about to take my measurements and step on the scale for my week 2 weigh-in. I'm wearing the same outfit that I wore in 2022 and 2023 progress videos and photos, just for a side-by-side comparison. But it is only week 2. I've made some changes that I'll talk more about in this video, but currently I am not seeing any visual changes yet, just by looking in the mirror. So we'll go ahead and see what the scale and my measurements say. So I had mentioned in my last video that even though my scale weight came in at 139, the lowest number I had seen was 137. So this was a really big shock, and I was very pleased to see that that number went down again to 135.4. But now I'm going to go ahead and take my measurements and see if they have gone down as well to keep consistency. If you take a look at the table that I put up on the left here, you'll notice that my measurements have gone down a little bit from last week, both in my lower waist, my upper waist. My chest here stayed the same, and my hips and glutes did go down 1/2 inch, as well as my upper thigh, which also went down 1/2 inch. My arms stayed the same, but overall I am very pleased because you wouldn't be able to tell just from looking in the mirror or even at this body shot that there were any changes at all. At least I'm not able to see them. I can see a little more muscle definition if you look closely in between my shoulder blades. It's starting to get a little more toned. So overall, I think that this week went well, and now I'm going to go ahead and go into all the things that I did differently. As you saw in my previous clips, I came in at a lower weight this week. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I did differently this week and some of the things that I need to still work on in the coming weeks. Starting with number 1, I increased my protein at meals. I'm really wanting to have as much protein as possible at breakfast. I do try to eat some form of carb as well, like oatmeal or granola, which is very high in calorie, but I try to just measure out a small amount. I really love the taste, and I love that it has nuts. So anyway, I try to include some form of carb in there, but sometimes I'm just too full to have it, so I will use it later as a snack. I eat a lot of the same things every day. Maybe at some point I'll change it up and add some variety, but for me, simpler is better. So if I can have eggs every day with like turkey bacon or a piece of chicken or some cold cuts or something like that, that makes it so much simpler. For lunch, I'll have a piece of protein, and then I'll start adding vegetables. My vegetables include broccoli, squash, be like zucchini, butternut squash, spaghetti squash. I do plan on making a separate video on how I learned to like so many different vegetables. It wasn't something that I enjoyed as a child. Anyway, I had to learn to like them. And yes, I think everyone can learn to like them. I think it has to do with the way that they're prepared. Sometimes you just have to trick yourself into enjoying the vegetables. The way that it happened for me was, I think the first one was broccoli. When I had it in Chinese food in all of that delicious sauce, I realized, wait a second, this is broccoli. I've never liked this, but suddenly I did. And I think that was the first time that I realized that vegetables can be cooked differently other than like steamed or coming from a can, and they could be enjoyable. I don't think it's really helpful for me to say that increasing my vegetable intake helped with staying full and satisfied and not craving as much if it's not relatable, because people watching the video may not like vegetables or have never enjoyed them. So that's why I mentioned that. You can learn to like them. The second thing that I did was the third thing that I did was increase my workout intensity, and I'll go ahead and insert some clips of that here. Well, that was embarrassing, but that's what I've been doing for cardio. So I just finished my cardio dance session, and I still haven't eaten. I've been drinking. Wow. Okay, this is not Guinness. This is iced coffee. And I'm just asking myself why I didn't start dancing years ago. Hopefully, as I slim down, we will also see some better dancing. But if you are trying to decide on what to do for cardio, find something that is fun, I don't know why I didn't do this last year. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that for 2022 and 2023, all I did was run on the treadmill and increase the speed, increase the intensity of the sprints, and that got me a long way. I did lose about 13 pounds from when I started. But this year I wanted to try something different and I think it's working. So, what I do is I choose one or two songs, one or two videos to follow and learn the choreography for. I made a slot for 20 minutes of cardio and I ended up doing 45 minutes each time. That was 3 times this week. So, those days I did not do any weightlifting, and that's something that I think I need to improve because I do want to have a good balance of cardio and weightlifting. And this week all of my workout time went to just cardio and I was exhausted. So I think that improvements for next week are going to be finding balance to include weightlifting again, drinking more water, and tracking my food. I had some trouble tracking all of my meals throughout the day. I would start off with breakfast, include maybe a snack, sometimes lunch, and then I would just trail off and get too busy and forget to track my food. Those are the improvements I plan on making for my next update. I will be away for a week and I will be taking a little bit of a break from the more regimented eating that I've been doing because I'll be going on a cruise. I'm still going to make a strong effort to have high protein and a lot of vegetables, as many vegetables as I can find in the buffet, but I am not going to practice too much restricted eating. That is it for this update. I will include some clips of the things that I do manage to do while I'm on vacation, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.